back to another episode of AngelsBobs Plus. I hope everybody's week has been going well so far. What are we on? Episode 13 now? 11, 12? Yeah, 13. This is what happens. I lose track of what episode we're on. You guys know what episode we're on because it will tell you. I don't know what episode we're on because I failed to write that down at the time of recording. But yeah, I think we're episode 13. So, in the last episode, we finished getting our tin set up, moving onto the bus. So now we're going to go ahead and go get a radar for the bus so I can at least see it from the map view. And also we're going to, the main thing is to try to get green circuits going. Before we do that, I'm going to try to get some more miners put down for this light because this is going to get us more iron and it's also going to be in our way. So the sooner we mine it, the sooner it's out of our way, right? So let's go ahead. I need a warehouse, just more iron. Yeah, because our iron's not great. We don't have a lot of it. We could speed that up. We do have some loaders. We could actually speed it up quite a bit though with the amount of loaders we have. Yeah, we'll do that. See, so many things we want to do right now. It's crazy. So let's go warehouse. So some miners. We need iron, so let's actually disconnect this for now. And then just kind of sit here and eat all of the iron up. We have 1 and 1 we can connect. How many do we have? So I need 2 more of each. So I need 2 more ore crushers. Which means we need a lot of iron for one of these. Who'da thunk it? But it will get us more iron overall. So there's another one, and then we need just 84 iron, and we only have 20. This is great. But it's fine. Once we get this going, that will fully get our sapphites fully saturated. I don't know how much iron that's going to output per second, but it's going to be more than what we currently have. So it looks like we almost have enough to fill 1 gray belt, which already isn't a lot. Remember, it's only 7.5 items per second. We're not at the stage right now where I'm ratioing things out for belt, like 1 yellow in, 1 yellow out, or in this case 1 gray in, 1 gray out. We're just doing things to work. Right, like this is ratioed, this to 2 of these to 6 of these, but I don't know what the input amount for iron exactly is. But we'll figure those things out as we need it. I don't think we're gonna ratio the factory out to that much, like tune it to, oh, to launch 1 rocket we need this many things, and those things need this many things, and it just go all the way back to the actual ore. I'm not gonna get that ratioed, like that technical. I'm sure somebody might build a factory that is that super tuned so that there's no excess, there's no waste, and everything's used all at once, right? But we are not doing that because 1, my sanity I don't think could do it. I would probably spend at least 10 hours just planning everything out because you'd have to account for travel time of things and just all sorts of debauchery that I just don't want to deal with. Alright, so let's go ahead and get all these things placed. I'm not sure what this red belt is. I'm actually gonna go ahead and look at the blueprint for this because I don't know what that. Oh. Huh. It shows 6 crushers. See, but I know that's false because I know it's a 1-to-1. So that is odd to me then. Interesting. I don't know. Oh well. We're not gonna have that many. We'll do 5, and if we find we need more, we'll do more. Oh, I just realized it's 2 per, not 1 per. Wait Wait, why did I think 8 could suffice on 6? I don't know. Let's take these so that way. Yeah. Alright, so let's go and get you set up. Obviously, this is will be saturating this, which is understandable. This does need to turn into yellow, and we'll upgrade it to yellow, but right now we don't have excess resources to do that. We have a little bit, so we'll do some. We'll get done, not all of it. Again, I don't like that I have to manually click that. If anybody knows of any like faster way of doing it, I mean, I guess yes, I could delete it and put it back down, but I don't want to. Oh, I guess I could shift click it, huh? Okay, maybe I did just find a faster way of doing it. Looks good. Cool. Alright. Still don't know where the access underground is. I'm sure it's somewhere. I'm sure robots probably placed it. Or, well, I say rig gun. I say robots, but not really. We'll actually get rid of this. No. Our monstrosity that lived here. That nobody will know about. It never existed. Let's go ahead and just throw in all of the things, though. So more Bobmonium will actually go to this, which is good. Let's go ahead and just throw you, the tin ore, the silicon ore. Oh, it's gone. Let's go ahead and throw the there. Looks like everything, right? Yep. Okay. So obviously, yeah, as you can see, there's not enough input flow. It's producing far more than this can handle, but that's only because of, well, not that specifically, but we might have accidentally put some things on that, which, yes, we definitely might have put some things on that belt that should not have been on that belt. So notice how it's flowing a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and get another yellow splitter. This will fill saturate. Usually what I'll do is until we get red belt, I'll actually do a second input. But eventually I need these 2 internal lanes for further up the chain output. Now I guess I could eventually redesign this so that it actually pushes both sides out more and uses these top 2. That might be something we do later on when we're redesigning things. Usually I like to try to not just continuously reuse the same blueprints every single campaign. I usually try to improve them in some way each time, just so that way I can find different, better ways to do something. And that's usually how it happens, is when I'm redesigning a blueprint, that whether it's because I'm limited by space, like in the case of like the furnace columns, like this area is eventually going to just be wrapped in things that I'm going to have very limited space for doing things. And I'm going to have to come up with creative ways to solve those problems. But yeah, so we should be seeing a little bit more iron. I don't know how much more, but at least a little bit. I guess that's all fine. We do need some loader. Oh, we can actually make them. So let's go ahead and make 2. And let's go ahead and get that sapphire, or not sapphire, the Digivolite made. Well, mined. We do need to go ahead and get some iron. It's not a big patch, so I don't know, 20 miners should be enough. We don't really have 20, but we'll see if we can make more than what we have. Tin's being made. Kind of comes in spurts, but for now we don't have a consistent ore input is kind of our problem, because we just don't have enough of things. So we can either put it on either side. I'm gonna go stick it here. So I'm actually gonna turn these just so that way. How do we want power to come down? Probably just here. Do a run. There's definitely different ways you can route the power. Some people will just route it whatever the fastest way to route it will be. I try to at least make it look a little bit nice. Try to take the spaghetti out of the factory if I can. Sometimes you have to do spaghetti. It's the only way. For us, it's not the only way. Did we ever make any more? Yes, we made more. I was like, I'm pretty sure we made some more. So let's go ahead and again, just position. Not how I wanted them to face, but alright, and then dribble it. Cool. Alright, so that's gonna be all mined at some point. So now we have 10. Let's start going through kind of what do we need to get to here, right? So we need basic electronic components, basic circuits, and solder. Well, we have this basic circuit, so there's kind of step 1 of 3. Solder, we need lead, and we're going to make that on the bus. So we can either decide to do lead now, or go work on basic electronic components. Well, I can already tell you right now, in order to get the lead, we are going to have to do rubyite sorting and things, which means we need to get more iron. Well, I say get more iron, but basically just sit here and hoover it all off of the bus until we have more than what we currently have on us. So there's 2. So now we need some stone brick. Let's go ahead and just kind of gather all the iron we can, because, again, like I said, we need it for pretty much everything. It looks like we are getting a little bit more iron. As you can see, the one side is completely full. Well, it should be completely full. I do see some gaps, but there is iron starting to show up on the other side, which means it's getting more full, right? And those will eventually fill up, and they should cascade down. Stone brick is being made. We're gonna need we need more steel, which means I'm gonna have to turn that back on. Now we're gonna need loaders, a plethora of loaders. That's kind of the thing, though, right? Is we're bound by how many loaders we need, because we just need so many. But once we get them made and automated, we'll be perfect. Factory will quite honestly not start self-expanding, but the factory will start building itself out. So that is good. So So many things. So many things to do. Oh, you know what? We're actually gonna move all these. Because remember, we found this one, so let's just go ahead and do this, this, 2. Yeah, so now they're just gonna grab all of this. So that should burn through all of the molten iron that we have made in those 2 steel furnaces pretty quickly. And as you saw, it looked like it was, what, about 700 in each? Oh, well, 10 in that one, but 760 in this one. Yeah, it's going to slowly decrease, but that's what we want. We need just an astronomical amount of steel for everything. So we'll just sit here and kind of wait for it. So kind of some of the things we need and kind of are looking at are... So this one will be the rubyite, which is going to make us the lead. And then, of course, the lead will go onto our mixed ore belt. The reason we're not adding copper and iron to the mixed ore belt is because they're used in a more direct way and in a much larger quantity versus the mixed ore, which is still used in higher quantities, but it's not used in the same immediate higher quantities. But we'll still need it. We'll still need them. So let's see. I was reading the Javolite mined, and then so there's the basic electronic components. We need tin, which we have, and carbon, which we need to make. So let's go find somewhere to set that up. Again, it's going to be highly temporary, just because I don't know where we're eventually going to put actual production of carbon. I have done it down here before. Well, like south of our other ore smelting. I know there was one campaign I put it here. There was another one I put it to the north with the PetroChem. It just depends kind of where we have space. I could put it in here in the middle, but I don't really have a or like an idea of what I want to put here. So yeah, I'm not really sure what we're gonna put here. But yeah, so that's kind of why I said, oh, what the fuck's that? Oh, just that. Yeah, we'll just probably put it like here. There's nothing here. There's nothing gonna be planned to be put here, at least for now. And so we'll just temporarily, or like I've said, some things that are temporary are not forever temporary. Then they're in fact permanent. We'll stick it in that area. So let's go ahead. One of those, 6 of those, head north to make all the things. So to make carbon, we have seen it before, as we have been able to make it. All we need is coke and steam. Well, to make steam, we know how to do that. We just heat up water. To make coke, we need to smelt crushed coal. So we need to crush some coal. Let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and get 2 crushers for this. Again, doesn't really matter where we put it. So let's just say here and I don't know, here. So crushed coal into furnace A, furnace B. Right. We could use burners for this, but I'm gonna just grab a handful of inserters. Right. And from there, it needs to be put into a liquefier. So this little setup will make us coke. Now we need to make, I'm pretty sure we had a liquefier, right? We still do? Yes, up here. This little setup. So let's go ahead and just take that. So we'll grab this, unhook all of that. Something like that? Okay. And we'll eventually fill that out with stuff. Alright, so now we'll take our liquefier, which will need steam. And we'll output the carbon onto the belt as such. We'll do something like that. And then... Right? And so this is going to make carbon for us, and so we need steam, right? So now in order to get steam, as we've seen before, previously mentioned, we need a boiler, so let's go ahead and get a boiler made, and we'll hook it up to the end of this. One boiler supplying just a little bit of steam isn't going to completely destroy anything, because the priority of how the liquid will go is it's going to get consumed by the first boilers anyway. So it powers it full tilt. It just won't let that function, which is fine. We are getting close to this upper limit though, so we should probably add in more boilers. Do I have any? You know what I do? I don't really want to route that. But we'll see. And then we'll connect that all up, and then that will get us carbon, and then technically we can automate basic electronic components. Now, because the nature of how they're made, they're a fairly simple item to make, as we'll take a look real fast again. Just tin, copper, wire, and carbon, but look, it's 3 items in to 10 items out, so it is a highly, highly, highly dense item. Well, would it be dense? No, it's a highly expanded item, not dense. So it doesn't make sense for us to bust them at all, right? It's a 3 to 10 ratio in terms of just the output alone, right? So hypothetically, it's 3 belts in, 10 belts out of material that it doesn't make sense for us to belt it that far. So this is something we're going to want to make locally, just because of compression. It would take up too much room on the belt just to try to bust them everywhere. So they're an item we'll make anywhere we need them. In the case of electronic circuit boards, we'll make them on site. Luckily, circuit boards are just the circuit boards and the iron. So we... that, and then solder, because again, that's not solder. There is an L, S-O-L-D-E-R, not S-O-D-E-R, sod, like the grass. It's sold, so I know some Europeans will enjoy that we are pronouncing it correctly, and some Americans who are, you know, inclined enough to how to just tell when somebody's soul leaves their body. Just watch them play Factorio and accidentally do something like that. Alright, cool. Steam's there. And we do... that should work, right? Yes. Right. I'm not entirely crazy. Cool. Alright, so this whole system should, in theory, now produce us Magnificent carbon. There we go. I'm not gonna use yellow for that. Those are expensive. Kind of a pro tip or a tip. If you don't need to go that far, right? If we're not gonna fully use the the 4 underground, don't use it. Just use the lower one. The only time I would use the yellow one in this scenario where we're not using the length is if we need the throughput of the 15 items a second. Right now, we are not going to use this much carbon. And even if we do, it's fine. Eventually, it will upgrade the actual belt. And this is, again, hopefully a temporary thing. But this is kind of just a basic carbon setup that will get you going. You can make it more compact. Obviously, there is a lot of wasted space. You could, yeah, I mean, it's fine for now just to get carbon made. It's nothing fancy, so we don't really need to worry about it. Helps if you look at where you're piping it up to. Yeah, something like that, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and line this out. And then this is a scenario where it's like, hey, we routed a special thing. This is a temporary item, or at least hope in location. It might eventually go somewhere else. It might stay up here on the north side of the bus, in which case that's fine. It will already be here belted, but either way, because we preemptively did what we did, we don't have to figure out, like, this is a scenario where it's like, okay, we don't have to try to figure out and play, okay, where is it gonna go? How are we gonna get onto the bus? Do we not want to put it on? Well, it's an item that we want on the bus. So unlike those wooden things right here, the wooden circuit boards, although yes, we do use them on the bus, we don't use them in a lot of places. We use them in like 1, maybe 2 areas on the bus. So it's not really, doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to put it on the bus. So that's why it just lives up there instead of on the actual bus. And there'll be other items that do that. We need yellow. Cool, okay, well, let's go and make some. Yeah, we definitely need to get the gears being made. That actually might be something we look at doing sooner rather than later, just because we need them. Carbon, we can put pretty much anywhere. Now, as you probably are going to recall, we already partitioned out a bunch of the bus. I mean, there's no set limit to like, oh, how much is on the bus. And unlike in vanilla where the bus pretty much is only like, I want to say 16 like belts in total. This is a much bigger bus. And so yes, it does cause problems with like buffer, like, because the belt is technically storage, like it's storing, I believe, 6 or 8 pieces of an item, or 6 units of an item. Oh wow, we actually finally ran out of belt. When you have these really long runs, there's a lot buffered on just the bus alone, which, yes, it does cause problems, but as long as, so if we fill this belt, it counts as one item instead of having to calculate the space in between as separate entities. So that's why just making sure the belt's full is key, because that helps performance significantly. Because obviously if we had all these belts running with nothing on them, they're fine, but it's once we start putting 1 to 2 to 3 items on them at a time that all these little spaces have to be calculated, which cause problems for performance. And it does look like it is about that time. So let's go ahead and queue oil and a couple other things up. Looks like we get about almost all these researched by the time the episode's over. Alright, well, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. Turn on notifications, turn that little bell notification on so you guys don't miss out on any new videos that come out. New videos of Factorio come out Monday through Friday, with Friday's videos being about an hour long, just so that way you guys have a little bit of extra content to hold you over through the weekend. If you guys have any comments, any questions, or any concerns, leave all of those down in the comment section below. If you have any questions as to what mods we're using, go look at the description. We have most of the major ones. If you want a complete and full mod list, go back to episode 1. I believe it's in the first 5 minutes. We pretty much go over all the mods we have. Other than that, make sure you guys... make sure you guys subscribe. Like the video. Really helps out a lot with the whole YouTube algorithm and things. With all that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.